you, Jason David Frank.
And Mr. Saban.
But seriously, thank you, Jason David Frank. Tommy, is he the best Power Ranger?
We're going to talk about him, so stay tuned.
It's PRNT time.
This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. You are watching PRNT. Wow, wow.
Welcome, Rangers.
This episode of
PRNT,
your source for all things
Power Rangers.
On this episode, we're finally going to talk about him. This is finally our Tommy episode. Portrayed, of course, by
Jason David Frank.
So, in this episode, we're going to give you some quick facts about Tommy. We're going to give you a brief history of Tommy, and then the last half of this episode is a PRNT exclusive interview with Jason David Frank himself, who we met this past weekend at WizCon Chicago.
These facts will be about Tommy the character, not necessarily Jason David Frank. Tommy was in 232 episodes
Roughly.
and 2 movies.
He wore 5 different suits, was part of 4 different teams, and controlled 9 Zords.
Currently, the character of Tommy is a 6th degree black belt.
He also has a PhD in paleontology from MIT, and is a science teacher, something I can, of course, relate to.
The first appearance of Tommy was in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode Green with Evil Part 1.
And his last appearance currently to date was in the Legendary Battle.
That's right. Now for a little bit of brief history. So, we first see Tommy when he moves to Angel Grove. He competes in a karate competition with Jason, and he wins the attention of a certain Pink Ranger named Kimberly.
Mm-hmm. Not only does he capture her attention, but he also captures the attention of Rita Repulsa as well. And she eventually makes him the evil Green Ranger.
As the evil Green Ranger, he goes into the command center, trashes it, and infects Alpha with a virus.
Through a series of battles, the Rangers are eventually able to destroy the Sword of Darkness, which is holding Rita's control over him. And then after he's free from Rita's spell, he later joins the team.
That's right. He does join the team, but sadly he loses his Green Ranger powers because of the green candle.
Knowing that they couldn't lose their leader, Zordon then makes the Red Ranger power and gives it to Tommy. Tommy becomes the leader of the Rangers for the rest of the series. But toward the end of Mighty Morphin, Rio and Goldar, they get into the command center. They're trying to steal the Zeo Crystal. They destroy the command center, and then the Rangers, knowing that the Zeo Crystal is too powerful, they have spread it through time. But Master Vile was able to revert the Rangers back to kids. They didn't have their powers anymore, and then these kid Rangers had to go on a quest to find the parts of the Zeo Crystal that they had scattered throughout time.
That's right. Tommy, he is sent to the past to a Native American land, where he discovers he has a brother, and he retrieves the star portion of the Zeo Crystal and returns to modern day.
And once he's retrieved it, he is now himself again, and the other Rangers were able to retrieve their parts of the Zeo Crystal. They formed the Zeo Ranger team with Tommy as the Red Ranger.
He is then sent to another planet to save a wizard named Larigo with Kat, right before they retrieve their new turbo powers.
Right. So after they save the base wizard, Larigo, they return to Earth. Tommy is now the Red Turbo Ranger. Him and his friends have graduated from high school, and Tommy becomes interested in stock car racing.
That's right. The character of Tommy leaves Turbo after being kidnapped by Divatox.
So TJ finishes out the season as a Red Ranger in Turbo. We have a few more seasons of Power Rangers in there. We don't see Tommy again until the season of Wild Force, in the episode Forever Red, which reassembles all the Red Rangers of the past to defeat Lord Zed, Zord, Serpent Terra. Tommy comes back as the Red Zeo Ranger.
That's right. During the time between Zeo and Dino Thunder, he gets his 6th degree black belt. Yeah. He gets his PhD from MIT, and he forms a partnership with Terrence Smith and Anton Mercer, creating the Tyrannodrones and the new Dinozords. Tommy then discovers the Dino Gems, and he creates a lab and works with a nice lady named Haley.
He also becomes the teacher during this time at a school called Reefside. 3 of his students, Connor, Kira, and Ethan, they stumble across his lab, find the Dino Gems, and at the same time, Mesogog starts his attack on Reefside.
Tommy, known now as Dr. O, becomes the mentor to the new Power Rangers, but they didn't quite find out who he was until he was kidnapped.
Right. And he was kidnapped by Mesogog, but on his way out, he takes the Black Dino Gem, escapes the lab, and becomes the Black Dino Ranger.
Right.
Then they go through the rest of the season. They end up defeating Mesogog, and then again, we don't see Tommy until the Legendary Battle.
Legendary Battle. Now, what you've all been waiting for. An exclusive interview with Jason David.
All right, so here we are with the man himself, Jason David Frank. I love you, JDF.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
We have a few questions for you. First off, there is a scene in Zio where the Christmas special where you are married to Kat. You actually answered this earlier in the talk, but is that still in the timeline right now, or has that been erased by something, do you think?
Writers are really clever on that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I think at one point, with storylines, with everything, I think they, put something in, and then there's another writer that takes over.
Right.
And the other writer's like, and then, then the fans and everyone's trying to piece it together. So there is a lot of loopholes in I think, in just the overall franchise. But fans piece it together that become, like, I think, a reality, like a lot of things, a lot of fans share things with Saban, or I do. I have a very close relationship. Like, I changed the Silver Morpher in the Mega Force. It was silver. I made him take the silver stripe out of the helmet. So I have a relationship like that with Saban. Hey, you need to make the gold Morpher gold, and you need to fix the helmet, and they fixed it digital effects. Probably costs a lot of money, but I'm always looking out for stuff like that. So when they ask, I kind of fill them in, but that's an interesting question that I probably haven't been asked ever since I've been at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it might have been erased.
Okay.
Might have been.
Yeah. Well, you played Tommy in 5 seasons. What's your favorite part about the character?
Man, I think the favorite part about just Tommy is I kind of grew, like I was saying earlier, I grew it into my own self kind of like PG rated of myself,
Yeah.
And just being able to do my karate the way I want to do, talk the way I want to talk, have humor the way I want to have humor. I think it all worked out. It's kind of like writing the script. Once they knew me, they kind of knew Tom. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
But for me, it wasn't really. I mean, acting is always difficult to make it believable and stuff like that. But I just was trying to stay in character and to be me during that time. I have the passion. People could feel even when the letter was read to me through Amy.
Right.
All that
Yeah.
stuff. Those scenes were like I try to connect to the kids. I try to connect to the audience by having the real feelings of what it is to be in my situation. So.
It's awesome.
Kimberly, you broke my heart, Kimberly.
And we saw it.
Yeah.
I could feel that. Yeah. Cool.
As Power Rangers continues to grow, do you think we will see Tommy again, or do you think the character of Tommy is done as far as the series?
Man, who knows what's going on nowadays with things. I know with Bat and the Sun, we're keeping, Tommy alive.
Right.
Really like to work on that series still with the Green Ranger series as Tommy. Talking to Saban about it. It's definitely not over. I've not got to confirm. No, it's not. It's just right now I've got the movie. There's a lot of money invested in the movie. $160 million into the first one. So, we'll see. That this whole thing has been open now. So, it's the power of the fans. Now, I can easily tell all my fans to call Saban, call Lionsgate like they did before.
Right.
But I just kind of want God to be in charge of my life and lead me to where I'm supposed to be led, Awesome. Tommy will always live.
Awesome. Now, speaking of that, what is Dr. O doing right now? Is he still teaching, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's still invisible for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was invisible for like 9 episodes.
Yeah.
Just because the actor had to go somewhere, and I was trying to balance it out a little bit. Like, all right, this actor needs to be here, so what's going to happen to Tommy? Let's make him invisible.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still Dr. O. I'm still waiting around for someone to say, is there a doctor in the house? And then I'll try. I say, sorry. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. So I'm waiting.
A little follow-up. What brought you back to do Final Thunder? Which, by the way, is my favorite series of them all.
I like it. Doug and Ann, Doug Sloan and Ann Knapp are friends of mine.
Okay.
And the bottom line is simple. We want to bring you back to bring the ratings up on the TV show.
Okay.
And once I went back, Dino Thunder ratings went up. The Power Ranger franchise ratings went up.
Right.
And but I went back because of the story. I wanted to go back. I wanted to be the Black Ranger, and it was, it was fun.
Yeah. Cool.
My final question. We see Power Rangers actors, they become a Power Ranger, and then they move on with their life, which is fine. They're people. But what is it that keeps you so grounded in Power Rangers and so pumped up about it?
Man, the fans, like it's just one of those things where it's like it's true passion. It's like how Carfax has the Carfax, it's like Ranger Fax. The point is, I've been around from day one. I tried saving the show with the Dino Thunder ratings. I've always said who I was. I was proud of who I was through this whole time. And now what it was, it's supposed to be big today, and it is. And so, like, for me, I'm not just jumping up and saying, hey, I've always been from day one. Like, I'm the Green Ranger. People used to be like, oh, man, aren't you afraid to get stereotypes? I did, I'm a superhero. Like, I like that. People come up, you ever regret anything for doing Power Rangers? No, I don't regret anything. The only thing I regret is you asking that question. I'm pretty proud of one. And if I could change the world in a bigger and a better, broader way, I feel that's the reason why I'm Saban Ambassador, man. It's the reason why I have such a close relationship, because I don't want to slam anybody. All the Rangers were great to work with. You just have to understand, as Tommy's character got sad because everyone was leaving. Everybody started leaving. This guy left, so it made my character insecure of who's leaving next. You know what I mean? Right. So it was one of those things where, it happened for what's supposed to happen. Now, if I stayed through Turbo and we kept working, it might have shifted the timeline. We wouldn't be here talking. It happened for that reason. You know what I mean? And I think it made it good. It made who JDF is today. I was never called JDF. I was called Jason Frank. I wasn't called Jason. You can call me Tommy. You can call me Dr. O. You can call me Green Ranger. You can call me, most people say JDF. I don't really care. The point is they're calling my name somehow. And I like the fact that I've embraced it for so long. And it's real. And I still, to this day, has to be real.
Well, for my last question, there's a little story. It's a tradition in my family to name sons after their fathers. And since my name is Thomas, I'd like to have your blessing to name my son Thomas Oliver.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, Chris and it kind of started as like a joke, and we were just kind of talking back and forth, and I'm like, then we finally figured out how it would work, and I'm like, I'm doing it. Yeah. So I figured once I got the opportunity to meet you, I figured I could ask blessing for that name.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. And now this will be like a time capsule.
Yeah.
Somebody will be watching this 30, 40, 50 years from now, and I'll be gone. I don't know about you guys, but the fact is, there will be a Tommy Oliver out there, Thomas Oliver, Tommy Oliver out there, and it'll be your son. So if you're watching today, this is how it started here at Wizard World, Chicago.
That's right. All right. Well, Jason, thank you.
We do have one thing. It is our Mighty Morphin road trip this weekend, and we wanted you to be a part of it officially. So you get your very own Mighty Morphin road trip PRNT shirt.
All right, man. There we go, right there. Hey, you got to follow these guys. I'm sure you're following them already because you're watching this interview. But give you guys credit for, doing what you do. And like I said, man, I'm always willing to help people. Thanks for the shirt. And you don't have to worry about nothing else happening because you guys know you guys are believers. God will put it all in your hands. And this, you guys will have almost every Ranger probably being interviewed here. So this is where your Ranger stop begins as far as questions and things. I got to tell you, those questions were great. Most of the questions I haven't answered before, so
cool.
We got your son.
Yeah.
We got your podcast going. Yeah. Right. And that's it.
Man, that was awesome.
I mean, it was actually his idea for the interview.
They say never meet your heroes, but that is not true in our case. Jason David Frank is the coolest guy. He is exactly what he seems to be on Facebook and Instagram and all that.
He loves the fans. Would do anything for them. He embraces his Power Ranger past. It was just so cool and refreshing to meet a celebrity like that. Right. Who's just kind of laid back and he knows who he is and he's comfortable with that. Just the coolest guy ever. If you're a fan of Power Rangers watching this show, I'm assuming you are. If you ever have the chance to meet JDF, do it.
Yeah. So again, thank you, Jason David Frank. But a very big, special thank you to his personal assistant, Francis Rodriguez, who actually filmed the interview for us. You are amazing, and everything you do is awesome. So thank you so much, Francis.
We enjoyed meeting you, and we had a lot of fun talking to you and getting to know you. Hopefully our paths will cross one day again.
Well, thanks for sticking around. If you go Here, you can like us on Facebook.
And if you go here, you can follow us on Twitter. Note the new Twitter handle.
And if you go here, you can follow us on Instagram.
New ways to contact us and to stay in touch with us and our show. And as we sign off, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and remember, our hope is that the power will always protect you.
Let's power down. Now, to our contest winner of last weekend, the person who came up to us and said, "It's PRNT time,"
was
nobody.
Yeah.
No one recognized us or must not have seen the show and was there.
Yeah.
But there is good news.
Chris had an idea.
We took that shirt. We got it signed from Jason David
You
Frank.
should be seeing that now.
Yes. And you now have a chance to win this signed by JDF t-shirt. Tom, how can they win this shirt?
Okay, well, first of all, you need to subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure your account is not private so we can actually see that you're subscribed to us. And then we're also going to ask you to tweet your favorite Tommy moment, whether it be from any season, any time, to our new Twitter handle, which is the PRNT93.
That's right. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, subscribe to us, and tweet us your favorite Tommy moment, and you can win an autographed PRNT t-shirt.
In a few weeks, we'll choose the winner.
That's right.